Hello there, it's Kristen again, and I'm ready to show you 3 more fantastic, fun, simple crafts that have to do with this week's Bible story. Now, this week we're talking about the Gospel of Matthew and the story of Jesus telling the parable of 2 sons, one who did what he was supposed to, and the other who said that he would do something but did not. So we have a few crafts that go along with that theme and with the theme of doing what you say you will and actions speaking louder than words or cats. Our first craft is going to be a puzzle because it's not a puzzle to just obey and do the right thing. And a picture is worth 1,000 words. Actions are worth even more. That's the theme. Anyways, what you'll need for this is very simple. A piece of paper, any kind of paper really, and then a thicker piece of paper. This is a cardstock, or you could use a piece of cardboard perhaps if you have that handy. And we're basically going to start by making some sort of a picture on our piece of paper. So this could be any kind of picture, or it could be something specific. So maybe you are going with, of course, you could go with a biblical theme, and you could have a cross here, and the cross, of course, demonstrating that what Jesus did is the most important action to demonstrate love of all, because that's sort of our theme as we talk about the story, is that it's not just about our actions, it's about the actions of Jesus on our behalf, that he, wow, that's not the greatest heart ever, is it? Oh well. That he loved us enough to send his son, and that Jesus loved us enough to die for us. So he's really the ultimate fulfillment of doing what he said he would. He said that he would love us and take care of us, and he did, because he took care of our sins. So you have your heart, and maybe you want to add another piece of paper, another picture on your piece of paper. Here's a little person who's very happy because their sins are forgiven. Hooray! And maybe you want to add, of course, you'll want to add a caption of some sort. So we're going to say, actions speak louder than words. Our actions, and of course the actions of Jesus. And let's throw on one more little picture there, because this is going to turn into a puzzle, and we need plenty of pictures to do our puzzle. Of course, it will be rather a simple puzzle. So here's my Bible. And yes, it is full of words, but it's full of actions as well. So there we go. There's my basic picture. Of course, you can make a collage of pictures. You can make a elaborate picture, however you like to do it. Now, what we're going to do next is we are going to glue our picture, really cat, onto the cardstock, the thicker piece of paper. So you can do this with a glue stick, with Elmer's glue if you have time and patience for it to dry a little bit. Just make sure that you get it all the way glued down, because as it is a puzzle, to turn it into a jigsaw puzzle, we're going to cut it apart into pieces, and we don't want any of those pieces flopping off because they are not properly and completely glued. So we're going to glue. Here comes lots and lots of fun glue, and now that we have completely and thoroughly coated our lovely picture with the glue, we will place it onto the cardstock paper, smooth that down, and now we're going to turn it into a jigsaw puzzle by cutting it apart. So, got your handy dandy scissors, and you can cut this into any kind of shape that you like. Maybe you want it to be a very challenging puzzle, and you want it to have lots of little pieces. You want it to have some little zigzaggies, some triangles, some trapezoids, some hexagons, some dodecahedrons, I don't know, whatever you want to do. So we're going to cut our puzzle pieces out. And then you can turn this into an activity where you will get with a partner. You can each make a puzzle, and then you can do your best to unscramble the other person's puzzle. So you have all of your fun puzzle pieces. Zoop, 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 zoop. Da, 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 da. And then you have it all scrambled up here. And then the challenge is, can you put it back together in the order in which it's supposed to go? So that's our challenge. We're not going to attempt that at the moment because we have other crafts to make. We have 2 more, in fact. But don't worry. That was probably the most time consuming to demonstrate. So our next craft is going to be our bees, because we want to remember that we're not just talking about doing things. We want to really be doing things. We want to be kind. We want to be caring. We want to be loving, be faithful. So we're going to make some bees. So you're going to need some paper. Now it just so happens that I've already pre-cut out a few pieces of paper. So I'm going to cut some pieces into bee-like shapes, something sort of like an oval or a long flattened circle or an ellipse or whatever you want to call it. And then if you want to get fancy, I also cut out some little wing shapes. Of course, you can do any colors that you like. And then we're going to decorate our bees. You're also going to need some popsicle sticks or something that you can put your bee on. Now, here's the way I did this. You can of course do it however you like, but what I did was I went ahead and drew some little stripes on my bee body here, and I gave it a little face. You could use googly eyes, you could draw your face, you could do whatever you want to do. Now I then, ta-da, I also made my little wings. So what you can do is you can glue your wings onto your bee, like so. And I also made some little antennas because why not? Antennas are fun. So you can glue or tape. Tape might work easier, or you could even poke it through, however you like to do it. You got your little antennas there. You've got your little wings. And then on my popsicle sticks, I wrote be faithful, or be kind, or be loving, or you could even write believe it, however you prefer. Now you're going to then glue or tape your popsicle stick onto your happy little bee. And again, you can do this multiple times. You've got your wings and things, and you've got your whatever else you want to use to decorate your bees. And then you're going to have your fun little bees. You could even make a puppet show out of these little guys. So here are your bees to remind you to be people of your word. Don't just say you'll do it, do it. So one more quick craft. And this one is going to go with the story specifically, that there are 2 sons. Jesus told this parable. There are 2 sons, and the father asked the sons to do something for him. One said, oh, sure, I'll do it, and then just sat there. The other said, nah, I'm not going to do it, but then wound up doing it anyway. Well, who actually did what the father wanted? The one that did what the father wanted. So as you tell this story, you can use this little tool, and what it's going to be is you're going to make a puppet. One side of the puppet is going to be the kind of the happy, joyful, yes, I'll do what my father tells me to side. And the other side is going to be your grouchy, I'm not really going to obey side. And you can use that as you tell the story, as well as you review the story. Well, maybe you can give some examples. What would be an example of doing something that you were asked, following the rules, obeying what your parents tell you to do? So you can use these little puppets as examples. Now, you can either use a big paper plate, you can use a small paper plate, you can use a paper bag, whatever you want to use to make your puppet. But the idea is that you're going to have 2 sides to this puppet. So let's say you're going to use your paper bag. Well, one side of your paper bag is going to be the obedient side. So maybe you're going to have, again, you can draw this, you can use your handy dandy googly eyes, You're going to make him happy because he's doing what he's supposed to. When we obey, we're happy. I mean, usually, right? That's the idea. At least eventually we will be, even if it's hard at first. So here's your little happy, obedient side. Obey, you can say something like, obey, do what you say. Something to remind you that's the obedient side. And then on the other side of our puppet, we'll have our little frowny face man. So this guy, he's got the angry eyebrows going because he pretended like he was going to do the right thing. And then he did not. So you could make some kind of caption. Don't just talk about it, do it. And then, again, you can do this with a paper bag, or you can do this with a plate. So you've got your don't just talk and say you'll believe. Actually, live out your love and do what you say. Obey. So, again, you can have this just as a fun little puppet take home, or you can have it help you tell the story and be part of this. The kids can hold these up and put the side for what's happening in the story. Are we doing what we're supposed to do, or are we not? So, it's a fun, interactive tool that you can use and make the story and the lesson a little bit more engaging for your students at the same time. So, as always, make these your own. Do what you prefer. Have fun with it. Run with it. Feel free to comment below if you have additional suggestions, or if you like this, or if you didn't so much like it. Like, subscribe, ring the bell notification for further reminders that we've got new stuff. We have new things coming up every week. Some of them are fantastic. Some of them you can toss aside for next time. But enjoy. Have a wonderful week. Make some crafts. Make some disciples. See you next time.